and blower, nitrous kit, wrapping up a Holley EFI install. So we completely replaced the factory ECU and harness with a Holley Dominator setup. Thing with this swap was making all the factory functions work, like the starter, fans. I think if I had to do it again, I would leave the factory ECU and just gut the harness down and let the factory ECU handle some of those functions and just let the Holley EFI control the engine. But on this particular one, the owner of the car told me that they had some kind of issue with the connector on the main harness where it plugged in the ECU, and they were having a bunch of weird issues, so I didn't even want to go that route. So the Holley is turning the fans on and starting the car and doing all those factory type functions. We did the Holley 6.8 Pro Dash, and I set him up some virtual switches. So you got ECU log trigger, nitrous enable, and then the ECU controls the low speed and high speed fan and then the second and third pump. But I put virtual switches where you could turn them on just as like a diagnostic feature. So turn your fan on, high speed fan, just make sure everything's working right. One of the trickiest things about this install was making the starter work. This is the first time I've done one of these systems on a 2010 or newer vehicle. What I figured out was the key in the crank position sends 2.9 volts. The ECU interprets that data to trigger the starter relay. And so just with the key on position, we're at 4 volts. And we go to the crank position, it drops to 2.9. And so I built a custom output to trigger the starter between like 2.5 and 3.5 volts. And then I put a secondary brake pedal input as a safety feature. So you'll see the little diagnostic LED whenever I get on the brake pedal. And then I hit the key switch, nothing happens. I get on the brake pedal. So this is just a base file I put together until we get it on the dyno. Looking at your base fuel table, spark table, nitrous parameters. This system is going to give us a lot more control over the engine management than the stock ECU. We'll have closed loop control, all the nitrous controls, timing retards, all those functions will be built in now. Give us a lot better control, make more power safely. It's a 4th gen F-body, single turbo, LS steel and methanol. I don't do the tuning on this car. I'm just adding some things, some sensors and things in the Holley for him, but we're doing some low-dollar motorsports shock sensors, doing a laser ride height sensor for wheelie control from Mad Racing, putting the internal Holley traction control on it, and a few other little things. So about to get started on it. My name is Dbomb, Dbomb EFI. I wire and tune race cars, primarily with Holley EFI. I'm gonna make a couple of videos, show you guys some of the stuff I do.